Welcome, and we are back. Alpha Nerd 17. It's been a week or two since we recorded last, I believe, sir?
I believe it's been about a week.
Yeah, it's been about a week. I know it feels like longer. We don't hear our beautiful voices. You're not hearing the sounds and our opinions and just, us preaching to you, us preaching that good gospel, doing the Lord's work, as we'd say. I am joined here by my very handsome co-host, 10 on the GQ list. Look at you. Stud. Fucking stud. Sets like us. How we doing, buddy?
Well, first off, thank you, buddy.
Yeah, you're a sexy son of a bitch.
I don't know the official GQ scale, but I'm assuming a 10 out of 10 is pretty good.
You're 10 out of 10. You're a 10 out of 10.
I'm assuming it's not. I'm hoping it's not ranked like golf, where the lower the score is, the better.
It could be live golf. If you finish last, you still get paid. Just
there you go.
Just pay everybody.
So we are hot off the heels of Jake Paul losing to Tommy Fury, which I didn't watch because I don't hate myself.
I heard it wasn't close.
I heard that it was a hug fest, which is fine because that's all boxing is these days. All I'll say is that Floyd Mayweather has been a net negative for boxing.
Yeah, when you're the greatest defensive boxer and counterpuncher of all time, you tend to get into those. Yeah. When it came out on Twitter that he lost, and they said it was a split decision, but most people who watched the fight, especially a lot of fighters on Twitter, were saying it was not close. A lot of people thought it was going to be rigged for Jake Paul to win because it went to a split decision, but Tommy Fury winning.
They have great reason to believe that. Look at the Triple G Canelo thing. I mean,
boxing's corrupt as fuck, dude.
Yeah, of course they would. I was amazed it wasn't a draw. I mean, come on.
Yeah, no, boxing's corrupt as fuck, man.
And everyone knows it too. Everyone knows that it's so clear when you see all these trilogies happening.
Yeah,
constantly. It's like, okay,
it makes it really hard to watch.
Every first fight is a draw, huh? That's amazing.
These guys are that close, huh? Yeah, but boxing's gotten really hard to watch. It sucks because I love boxing. I still believe it's sweet science, but it's just harder and harder to watch. And then fighters have certain runs that they go on, but then they don't put quality opponents in front of them. I think it's just hard to build stars in boxing. So it's tough.
Well, when everybody is undefeated, when everybody is undefeated, no one's undefeated, right? And no one gives a shit anymore.
Yeah,
of course he's undefeated. Everyone's undefeated.
I feel like combat sports right now are kind of at a. I could be wrong, but I feel like they're at a low point for me. Where there's certain fight cards that I see coming up that I get excited about, and other ones I'm like, I don't really care anymore.
I'm excited for John Jones to come back.
I hope he loses.
I'm annoyed with MMA for different reasons than I am annoyed with boxing. Right? I think boxing has turned into a giant pussy fest. And I think that these fighters are having these fights handpicked for them to keep their undefeated record.
Mm-hmm.
And when they do fight against someone that's a big money fight, that's worthy challenge, it's always going to come out to a draw. And they're going to have a trilogy out of it. They plan this from the beginning. And it's just it's not a legitimate combat sport anymore, in my opinion. Boxing is not a legitimate combat sport. You'd find more quality fights in a hockey ring.
Yeah, they're trying to eliminate those too. Like if the NHL has really tried to kill fighting. So I don't know. For me, combat sports is definitely at its low point. Where I remember a couple of years ago, there was a fucking banger card every other month, and now it's like I'm all right. I'm watching that John Jones card. I'm going to be at a Buffalo Wild Wings watching it.
Nice.
I'm excited for that. So here's another thing. You ever notice that these guys come straight out of retirement and get title fights? Like, what the fuck? Like, what's that?
I have no idea. Are you talking about Henry Cejudo?
Yeah.
Back?
I
don't know. I think to be fair, in my opinion, it was always assumed that Henry Cejudo wasn't actually retired because he retired kind of out of nowhere.
Yeah, but he's just going to be inactive that long, and then the minute he comes back, he's fighting for a title? Like...
Conor McGregor is always one win away from a title shot. I mean,
it's fucked up.
It's just the way MMA
I mean,
works.
I get he's a draw.
I don't know.
I don't know. I just think it's a bad look. But
yeah, I agree.
So, moving on. What have you been up to, my guy? What have you been playing? How's life? Talk to me. Tell me about yourself.
Uh, Not a whole lot is up with me right now, man. I really, really tried to beat Xenoblade 3 before this podcast. That's why we're recording it Sunday night. I just couldn't do it, man. I've been pushing through this game, and I gotta say, straight up, not a fan of it.
I
I
felt
I
that was
am in
coming.
I am in the last 10-hour stretch of this game, and
Mm,
the whole time I've been saying to myself, like, it's gonna get better when the story drop hits, right? Like,
uh,
Xenoblade is always, now 2 was the exception because 2 had like a really solid story all the way through because it really was a character building focused game. Now, when 2 hit the story drop, it like blew my mind. It's like, holy shit. Because if you don't, I mean, you've never beaten a Xeno
no.
game, but there is always at about the 75 to 80% mark, like this massive story drop that it like explains everything, and it's like a mind bending, like huge reveal, right?
Yeah.
And in 2, it was like a huge thing because, well, I can't really say without
Yeah,
spoiling,
don't spoil it.
but
Don't spoil your boy.
yeah,
Don't be a
but
Jerry
I
Guido. That's
really,
it.
I really recommend everyone plays 2. I think 2 is the best of the best when it comes to character development and world building. And Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is a direct sequel to 2.
Okay.
And if you play 2, you're gonna see exactly what's happening in 3, and you're gonna be able to predict it. So this whole time I'm like, all right, I'm waiting for this giant like story drop, and then it comes, and I'm like, well, this is exactly what I knew it was going to be the whole time, right? But the issue is not that. The issue is the characters, dude. They're awful. It's like Kevin Feige wrote these characters, and I don't understand what they're doing with them because they're they're I don't know, they're just wet blankets. They're not fun. They're not entertaining. Um, the whole thing is they want, I think they wanted these characters to be like relatable, so they made them more grounded, but they all come off as like really weak, and I don't know. I have an issue with pretty much every facet of this game, and I'm pushing through to the end. Like,
Oh man.
here's the thing with Xenoblade Chronicles 3, man. The game, and try to wrap your mind around this. The game plays better
Oh shit.
on easy mode. The game plays better on easy,
Oh, what?
right? Yeah. So like, because every single enemy in this game is a massive damage sponge, you constantly feel like you're not powerful whatsoever on normal or hard difficulty. When you switch to easy, your characters start taking more and more chunks out of the enemy self bar, so you can actually see when you use an ability that it does damage.
Oh wow.
On a normal difficulty, you can't even tell when you're using abilities. Like, every enemy is a massive like um tank, and it's just so annoying, dude. I don't know. I'm at the very end now. There's been some parts that I've liked, but even like, this isn't any surprise. There's always like some sort of mech mechanic
Yeah.
in Xenoblade games, Xenogears,
Yeah, and easy.
Xenoblade,
Yeah.
Xenosaga. There's always some sort of mech mechanic. Even the mech mechanics in this game is like really lame and weightless, and it's just,
So you feel like they just shut
I
out
just,
a sequel?
yeah, I do. I'm straight up honest. I do not understand where all the love comes from this game. I don't get it at all.
Here's the thing. Like I know it reviewed well, but like people whose opinions I like implicitly trust, like you and like sometimes Mr. Matty. Sometimes he like, gets a little stupid on us, but like people whose opinion in RPGs like I trust have always have said like I'm struggling with the story. So like the story was the weak point of it, and the gameplay was like decent, but like, and I heard it doesn't run well. Also,
Well, it's a Switch exclusive, so I mean, like,
yeah,
what do we
but
expect?
hold on, because like Metroid Prime, the remaster, they say runs buttery fucking just smooth. So it's not like they're incapable of it. It's just they
Eh,
like I think
it's a remaster of a game that came out 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah, but is it like, let's be real here? Is Xenoblade that much graphically more intense than Metroid Prime? Like, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know that Xenoblade's more graphically intense, but Xenoblade does
Open
have
world,
a
the
massive
world.
open world, and
Mm.
it's not like Pokemon where
Art Arceus ran like shit too.
yeah, Arceus runs like shit, and
Breath of the
Scarlet
Wild runs
Violet
like
ran
shit.
like shit. But Xenoblade 3 it doesn't have the same sort of slowdown issues that Pokemon does. I haven't noticed any frame rate issues
Okay,
on
well, that's
Xenoblade
good.
3 to be perfectly
That's
honest
good
with you.
stuff.
Maybe sometimes the frame rate drops to like the low 20s.
Okay,
Maybe.
okay.
Um I don't know. It's such a divisive game, I think, because I think, like I said, it reviewed really well. Probably people just need to give it a shot and see because um, a lot of the high praise from the reviews coming from the character development.
Uh huh.
I don't see any of the character development, man. In Xenoblade 2, you had the whole game was focused around Rex's building relationship with Pyra and Mithra,
Our boy's a
right?
driver.
Yeah. In Xenoblade 3, this is how awful I think it is. There's a relationship building between two characters, and I didn't even realize it until chapter 5 of 7. The
Mm.
end of chapter 5 of 7. I was like, "Oh, wait. So this is happening?" I didn't even know there was any interest whatsoever. Like
Damn.
it didn't build that up at all. So like I don't know where all this praise is coming from, man. And it's a very formulaic, very repetitive. There's no strategy to any of the enemies whatsoever. They all play exactly the same. I just I'm the only reason I'm still playing it at this point is because I'm this far into it. I'm at the very end.
Okay. All right. I can
It's
respect that.
just not for me. On the other hand, I got the Steam Deck last week,
Yeah. Do
and
tell.
dude, in love with it. Absolutely in love with it. Every game I've tried so far runs amazing, um, and I pretty much bought this thing to be a Kaseki machine. Like I really plan on just playing the Kaseki games on this because I'm so tired of like trying to figure out the optimal way to play the Kaseki games, right? Because like I'm like, oh man, they're the perfect portable games, but you know,
Now, you mean moving forward? Or are you still talking that shit about going through the trails in the sky? Like, you still talking that shit?
I don't know. I think I'm gonna keep trying. I think when I can play it, if I can play it in like small doses and maybe like actually get attached to the characters, I'll be more interested. But
I don't see it
damn,
happening.
that game is slow as shit. I mean, it's so slow.
Now,
And
remember,
we
we went through this with the first Legend of Heroes game. We were like,
yeah,
we're back.
yeah. I mean, I'm so in love with the Legend of Heroes series now at this point that like I feel like I have to play Trails in the Sky, and everyone says how amazing it is. I've yet to see it, but again, I've only put 4 or 5 hours into it, maybe not even, you know. So we'll see. I mean, there's got to be something there. And then I got the whole crossbow arc,
Yeah.
but Hajimari's coming out, here pretty presently, right? A
On
couple
my
months.
birthday,
Okay, so
July 7th.
that's May.
Buddy, that
Oh,
is
July.
May? Seth.
I don't know. For some reason, I thought it was May.
God, I can't with you. So
Um,
you're out on Xenoblade 3. Well, I'm assuming you're gonna finish though.
yeah,
You
I'm
gotta
gonna
finish.
finish
Okay.
hopefully tonight.
Hopefully,
Maybe I'll take a break.
I
But
hope it has a big payoff that it changes your whole opinion, but I don't see that
I'm
happening.
telling you right now, I know it's not gonna happen because it just I don't know. There's nothing to pay off at this point. But what I will say is the Steam Deck, man.
Yeah.
Super impressive. Super impressive piece of tech. Way more than I thought it was going to be. Um things just work on it, right? And I expect it to be more of a power system,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, things power. By that I mean like a power
Yeah,
user.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
we're gonna
yeah.
have to like customize settings and whatnot. But I mean, everything I've downloaded from the Steam store, even when it says it's only partially supported or like not supported, has just ran fine. Like the Trails games, it all says that they're not supported.
What?
Um, but so what that comes from is like a massive amount of like testing by Valve.
Okay.
So only a lot of like new and very popular games are going to get Steam Deck verified.
Okay.
I think that's how that works. Now, Valve has some sort of AI OS thing going on with Steam Deck where like the OS for Steam Deck is constantly updating. So things that don't run well at first are like progressively getting better at running on Steam Deck. There's some sort of like weird algorithm AI thing going on there. But yeah, man, I'm really in love with this system. And I think that's also one of the reasons why I'm like just so ready to be done with Xenoblade because I just want to jump into that more. But I played I got Trails in the Sky downloaded on it and I played it and that runs really well. And it looks really good by the
Yeah.
way too. Almost like it's a PSP game. And I got BioShock and BioShock Infinite on there, the Mass Effect series. Um I forget what else, but they run really really
So
well.
you're planning to replay all these?
I don't know. I was just looking through my
Just fucking
library and I'm like,
around?
oh this
Yeah.
yeah, I'm like, oh, this might be something fun to
Okay.
throw on there. But what I think I'm gonna do next is because I never beat the original Xenoblade. I know how it turns out
I'm
based on just
actually
my level
getting.
of
I think I
series.
might play that next.
So I'm just gonna put a Switch emulator on my Steam Deck, and then I'm gonna run Switch games better on Steam Deck than on the actual Switch.
Because everyone keeps saying that the Steam run Switch games great, which is
It's the
sad.
best way to play Switch games. You can play them at a higher resolution and a more consistent frame rate, and it's just like, okay, well,
I
here we go.
thank you, Nintendo.
Yep, yep.
Oh my
So I
god.
think I think that's gonna be my because you can also dock the Steam Deck.
Oh,
I don't know if you knew that or
I did
not.
not
You
know
can
that.
dock it and you hook a controller up to it.
Okay.
I think the Steam Deck's gonna be my primary way to play like RPGs going forward because I just can't imagine a better way to play like maybe some of the old school RPGs that I want to play and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that because my solution as of now has always been like, okay, I'll get it on the PS5, and then if I want to play it on the go, I'll remote play, right?
Yeah.
But there's always like, and it works well, but there's always like that slight lag, how it's like
Yeah.
not the optimal way to play and whatnot. Um, and that option's still there for games I have on PS5, but like Steam Deck's just so comfortable and nice, dude. It's really nice.
All right.
So I'm all that, and then I played a little bit of Hogwarts Legacy. I'm a big fan of it, but I haven't. I've only been like 5 hours in before I decided to fully commit to Xenoblade.
All right. I respect it. So for me, I've been like a little bit all over the place, just doing a bunch of different shit, and we even forgot to mention that we christened the castle. Remember, we
Yes,
had your little housewarming party. It was a good time. It was good having the boys back together.
yes,
Like I said, I'm very happy for you. I think you did a wonderful job, finding that house, and I think you're gonna do good
thanks,
stuff.
buddy. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Well,
Our boy Watson is going through the same pains right now.
okay.
He's house hunting currently, and I feel for him because it's a miserable process, dude. There's
Yeah.
nothing that has made me want to blow my brains out more than trying to hunt for a
All
house.
right.
Because
That,
like
it's
for
tough.
instance yeah he's got a budget, right?
Yeah.
And he found a house within that budget that via the pictures looks really nice, so they make the trek out there and then you come across the house and it's
And
like
it's
it's a giant
fucked up.
shithole
Yeah.
because they dress them up for the pictures, they make it look really good, so and then they try to sell you on it. It's like,
Yeah.
no, I don't want a house that's falling in. and
No.
and it's just it's the same things we went through, man. It's the same things. So
Godspeed, Watson. Godspeed. Listen, I'm all for it. Get another house. Let's have another housewarming party, and yeah, I'm in. Yeah, man. I'm not looking forward to the day where I have to go through it as well, but it'll happen. But yeah, so we did that. Then for me, recently I beat. I don't know if I talked about this, but I feel like I should. I beat Trials of Mana.
what'd you think?
I really, really loved that game. At first I was like, but like I said, I don't know if I talked about this, but I'm pretty sure I might have. But anyway, quick recap. Really loved it. It's a remake of the original Trials of Mana that was never released in the U.S. It doesn't run. I don't think it runs that great on Switch. It could just be a Switch issue, but again, it's that '90s era Square, and it's just it's a really well done game. A very deep game. You can play through multiple times, but there's a character that the minute they spoke, we were done. I couldn't deal with it. Uh, yeah. So played that, beat that, and then Then I got into Cosmic Star Heroine.
Ooh, I
And
heard this is great.
dude, this game, like, I can't believe I slept on this game like this hard, but that game is one of the best RPGs I've played like in a really long time, probably the last 10 years. It's on the list.
No
Um,
shit.
yeah, just the way the systems work, the stories and entertaining. It's a callback to to that Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo era, and for it's more leaning towards it's almost like a love letter to Fantasy Star. Yeah, that's what it feels like to me. It's like a love letter to classic Fantasy Star, where you're going through different planets and you fight like you have the sci-fi RPG elements, and I just think it's a really well done game. My only issue with the game was the difficulty. Like if you don't change the difficulty, and I don't know if it's by default, it's on the easiest setting, but once you change it, it gets a little bit better. But until I fought like a couple end game monsters, like I felt like nothing was really a threat to me. But again, so I recommend upping the difficulty, especially if you're a seasoned RPG vet like you and I are. But the combat system is so good, and it's once you get it down, you can really really do some fun shit with it. I love all the characters minus one guy. I'm not gonna say his name. If you ever play this game, you'll know who it is immediately. um,
I'm watching the trailer right now.
yeah, dude, it's definitely some Fantasy Star 4 for specifically vibes, but and I
I've
feel like
never played any of the classic Fantasy Star
okay.
games. I only played Fantasy Star
Well,
Online.
they're basically the Sega Genesis. Okay, I'm going to say this, and it's going to be a hot take, but stay with me here.
I love hot
It's
takes.
it's the Sega Genesis equivalent of Final Fantasy. Like
Okay.
like Super Nintendo had the Final Fantasy games, and like Sega was like, we don't have an RPG. Hey, somebody create us an RPG, and then they created Fantasy Star. And Fantasy Star 1 through 4 are great games. I know a lot of people say Fantasy Star 3 is like the black sheep, but it's a good game in its own right. It was one of the first RPGs to have like multiple different endings, especially in that era. And then like the ending of Fantasy Star 3 is a whole big mind fuck. But anyway, yeah, Cosmic Star Heroine is I recommend everyone plays it. I recommend you play it either on PC or PS5 if you can, or anything other than the Switch, because I had another crash issue with this game, and I think it's the Switch port, because everywhere else I read nobody had any issues, but Switch port, like the one glitch, it locked me out of a boss fight. Like I'd killed the boss, but then he like it didn't register that he was dead, so like the battle just stayed on loop. So I had to restart that and lost like an hour of progress. And then another time, I died at a boss fight, and then I hit retry, and then the enemies didn't like clear the screen, and it glitched where I couldn't attack. So I was like, so those are two annoyances. Again, I think it might be a Switch issue, because I didn't read anywhere else that on any other platform people had that problem. There's really cool Easter eggs in this game too. There's a side quest where one of your party members is like a rookie cop, and he gets summoned back to the police station from the planet he's from. And then when you get there, it's like 2D Resident Evil 2, where like the same things start happening. Like you got to find specific keys, and then there's a tyrant you got to kill. So I thought,
What?
yeah, dude, it's pretty cool. And it's not a long game. Like I think if you do all the end game content, you're looking at 20 hours. But from start to finish, for me, it took me about 12 to I think 11 or 12 hours. So so for a game that like gave me a lot of entertainment, the soundtrack is really really good. The art style is really really good, especially now, and we're gonna get into it later in the show. And we may even lead off with it, but this 16-bit RPG revival that I was like, man, I'm seeing all these people playing all these like 16-bit callbacks. Like, yeah, we love these games. Like, oh fuck, I forgot I had this. So I popped it in, and I had the fucking time of my life. Like that was awesome. It was a great game.
Well, I am literally buying it right now based on your recommendation, buddy.
Yeah, I recommend it, dude.
If this doesn't, if this isn't work well for me, I want my $6.21
All
back.
right, buddy. I will Venmo you $6. Did you get it on Steam?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I played that. And now I'm looking for another RPG to get into. Like that got me. They got the turn-based RPG bug going. So
Oh, dude, I got you. I got you. Sorry, did I interrupt you?
No, I thought you were gonna say something.
No, no. Well, I was gonna say the game that is on Game Pass right now.
What, Chained Echoes?
Yes, Chain Echoes,
Yeah,
dude.
everyone's telling me Chained Echoes, which I did
Banger.
see. I was looking at it, so that's definitely on the docket. I am Setsuna's in the running as well.
Eh,
I I, I heard it was good, so I may look at that.
it's okay. I
it,
mean, dude, I am Setsuna, and what was the next one that came after
Lost
it?
or Lost Sphere.
Okay,
They were like good, but not. They were like mid, I guess. Let me put it
they're
that way.
yeah, they're like mid, but here's the thing: they're both depressing as fuck the whole time, dude. So, like, I don't know, like. I want like in JRPGs like at least some heroic like parts that make me feel like a hero and powerful. They're both just depressing all the time. I don't know.
It'd kill the vibes for you.
Yeah, I just wasn't about it.
So I'm looking at I Am Setsuna, but then like there's also a part of me that like I'm like, oh, maybe I should go a strategy RPG because I'm like, I haven't touched one of those. So I'm like, I have Fire Emblem Engage my trepidation there is I don't really like the way it looks. I'm like, this doesn't I'm a little looks a little
The Coolgate Heroes.
yeah. It's like nah, I don't really. There's too much colors and it's all.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of Tokyo Mirage Session vibes there, even though I like that game, but I'm just like, don't really know if I'm with that right now. Like I said, I was also looking at Chained Echoes, and then the game that's really calling me is Pure Solar. So it's like Pure Solar, The Lost Architects.
oh,
It's in the mold of like those lunar games, those like Sega CD. I'm like, that might be the one. That might be the one.
Pierre Solar was a
Right.
fan-funded
Yep.
Dreamcast
Correct.
game. Is that?
It's just
There
fan
is a
fun.
Pierre
There's a
Solar.
Dreamcast port. There's also a port that if you plug it into your Genesis, it'll play on your Genesis. But if you plug it into your Genesis with the Sega CD, it'll work as well.
Oh, that's
So
pretty neat.
yeah, so that's the one that might call my name. That might be the one that wins, but we'll see.
Have
Also,
you ever played
God,
the original Star Oceans?
I have that, and I actually literally bought Star Ocean First Departure like a couple of years ago just to try it. I never did. I also bought Star Ocean: The Divine Force because I heard it reviewed well. So, and I looked at the reviews. It's sitting at about like a 70 on Metacritic, which is average, but that's better than fucking the last one. And I got it for $30 on sale, so I was like, I'm in. So
Okay.
I got a couple candidates, but also recently with the way the gaming industry is right now, and this is on the misconduct list if you look, companies are routinely fucking up ports. They're fucking them up.
Yes.
We
Yes.
can't for some reason. I don't know what happened. Like the art of porting something in the new systems is the ball's been dropped. Besides a select handful of studios that do really good jobs. So
Yes.
I'm noticing that we don't emulate very well either anymore. Like so, PS3 for the life of us we cannot figure out. Like every time you try to emulate a PS3, especially on the PlayStation service, it's fucked up. There's the latency sucks. And I just don't feel like it's quality gaming. And then now with the ability for stuff to get pulled, and I don't really like that. Like if I want something, I want to own it. So I feel like I had a bit of a midlife crisis, but bear with me here.
Okay.
I bought a couple retro games because they're retro now. So and I used to be of the ilk that you can't get deals. You still can, but you got to know what you're looking for. You got to use the old noodle. You got to read the tea leaves in front of you, and they're deals for you. So I picked up Warhammer 40K, the Space Marine game, just like you were gonna
Okay.
do. I got it on
Okay.
360 though.
All right.
So and then with the Mass Effect games, like I feel like unless you when you buy that physical Mass Effect, the trilogy, I don't know if it just downloads them and this disc is a download key. I feel like that's what it is.
That's most games these days,
Yeah.
I would imagine.
So I picked up the first Mass Effect, Mass Effect
Okay.
2, and then Mass
Okay.
Effect 3. So I have the entire trilogy now. So whenever I want to go back and play Mass Effect, I can just fucking play Mass Effect. And
Okay.
and then I picked up Fable 2 and 3 because I already have the original Fable. So like I'm starting to amass these games, and I'm like, hold on, like these games haven't really been ported all that well, and like now they're digital ports and they may go away. Like, you know what? I'm never losing these games, so I'm like, I got this. Until Discrot takes it, then well, fuck. But and
Well,
then
hopefully by then we have a massive library of digital games that you
right.
can download.
But I feel like I'm gonna buy these until like I feel comfortable like that they're going to be accessible. Like I want to be able to, if I want to play something, I want to be able to just play it. So then I got Metal Gear
Right.
Solid 4, Resistance Fall of Man, Resistance 2. I already have 3. I got the Warriors on Xbox because the digital port runs like shit on new consoles. And then I picked up KOTOR, Knights of the Old Republic, and Knights of the Old Republic 2. So I got all those games for $60, and I consider that a fucking deal.
I would consider that a deal as well.
Yeah.
I have a concern about the Mass Effect choice.
Splitting systems. I know.
No. No. My concern is that Mass Effect 1 is notoriously old and not it doesn't work very well by modern standards.
Mm-hmm.
And they actually remade a lot of the mechanics and updated it to be more in line with Mass Effect 2 and 3. But I think Mass Effect 2 and 3 hold up to this day very well.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to say this. Honestly, once you cross like into that 2010 era,
mm-hmm.
games are just holding up
yeah.
graphically very well these
I agree.
days.
I don't disagree with that.
I mean, like you look at Mass Effect 2 and it's like this game looks just like a Mass Effect game would come out today.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with Mass Effect 2.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I don't think that. So Hogwarts Legacy came out, right?
Mm-hmm.
The facial animations.
I heard they animate funky.
They don't look any better than like Mass Effect did. Mass Effect's got some asshole facial animations, you know. But I guess my point is that I feel like we don't need to continue focusing on graphical fidelity in games.
It's
like,
quality.
We've made it, dude.
Yeah, like it's
We've
quality.
made it, dude.
Yeah.
Like the castle and the world in Hogwarts Legacy is phenomenal. As good as you can possibly imagine it, it's better than that, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's phenomenal. So, and that's what we're there for, right? We're there to explore Hogwarts. I don't give a flying shit about who these classmates are of mine. You know, and honestly, I'm not really even paying attention to the story. I'm there because I want to smack some fools with spells, explore Hogwarts, like I've always wanted to do as a kid, right?
Yeah, I'm with you.
So I don't know. I feel like once, and I feel this way because I recently played the Dead Space game, right?
Oh, the remake.
Yeah, I jumped in there for a little bit.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
It looks great, but I feel like the original still looks really good too.
Yeah, the original does look really good.
I don't think that this was a really necessary project that we needed. So I don't know. And that's just kind of my thing. I think once you cross into the 2010s, like you're starting to get into the point where it's like, okay, well, how much better can we make this?
Well, I have the Killzone 2 and 3, and I know Killzone 2 might have been that 08, 09, so like a little bit right before that. But I think I can't wait to get my PS3 back so I can like see these games and see if they still held up, because I think they will. So yeah, I think you made a really good point there. So another thing I got, and I think I was telling you about this, but I picked up a high grade Amazing Strike Freedom Gundam to build.
Oh, okay.
And then I also got a high grade Zaku 2 Principality of Zeon Char and as Nable's mobile suit. So got two Gundams to build, and I have the other one that you got me that I got to finish building. So I was trying to just branch out and try new shit. I found this really cool toy shop called Gundam Kitchen. Fun fact, they don't serve food there. It's in New Jersey, but they sell basically any Gundam you can think of that I saw. And
that's awesome, dude.
They sell high grade, master grade. I don't know if there's anything above master grade, but I didn't see that.
There's a perfect grade.
Okay, I didn't also know to look for that, so they might have had those. But yeah, that was really cool. And then I watched the first episode of Vox Machina, and that is an interesting.
Oh, that is great series, dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that this week on my lunch break.
Yeah, that is fan fucking tastic.
Yeah, So I'm gonna watch that. I got one more episode of the Legend of Heroes anime to watch, but
What do you think of that?
I really like it. I don't know what the community's opinion is on it, but I've really enjoyed it.
Well, generally when it comes to Legend of Heroes, I don't watch the community's opinion on anything because what I found is that no one hates their own series more than Legend of Heroes fan base. Um, Dude, I swear to God, you can look up the opinion on any game in the series, and half to three quarters of the comments are gonna be like, "This series sucks. I want to go back to the Crossbill arc, or I want to go back to the Trails in the Sky arc." And I recently saw people saying that the second Crossbill game is the worst in the series, and I'm like, that's a new opinion. Never seen that before.
Well, people shit all over Cold Steel 4. I was like, I thought it was a good game. Like I was just like,
Yeah, I thought Cold Steel 4 was phenomenal, and people shit all over the third one too, and they're like, "Oh, this is the worst game in the series." I'm like, I thought 3 was perfectly fine, but like, but what I'm coming to realize is that fan base is just absolutely ravenous to like rip things apart, and I think it's very similar to the Persona fan base,
oh my god,
where
yeah.
the first game that you play of the Persona series is always your favorite, and you constantly compare it to the first one, right? Like in my mind, I'm always like, yeah, Persona 3 is the best. Even though I know realistically Persona 5 is
Yeah.
far and above way better than Persona 3. But I will say this. I think Persona 3 has better characters than Persona
Yeah, I was gonna say, because Persona 3 was my first Persona game, um, but it wasn't my first SMT game, so I'm just like, but yeah, I don't disagree with you. Like, I personally like 5 a little bit better than 3, but there's things about 3 that I like a little bit better than 5. But hey,
My issue with 5 is simply this. I feel like I could go back and play Persona 3 and enjoy it.
you can't go back to 5.
I can't go back to 5. It's ruined for me, dude. And me and you are the
Yeah.
only two people I think to have this opinion where like Persona. There's something that happened to our brains with Persona 5 where like it disgusts me to think about going back and playing that
It's
game.
that fucking
And
Futaba dungeon. That's what it is. You know it's coming.
it must be, dude. And the Futaba dungeon and the stupid girl that has no bearing on the story whatsoever that uses the hammer.
Yeah, I know. She sucks.
She comes out of nowhere.
Yeah,
And it's like, okay, I guess
ironically, when I was playing through the Royal, like I powered through the Futaba dungeon. I'm like, all right, we're done. And then I got to hers. I'm like, oh, and I quit. It's just it's weird because the first time I played through it, like I wasn't a fan of them, but like I got through it. Like I was I played through. I'm like, all right, this is fine. But the thought of going back, and then when it happens to me playing Persona 5 Strikers, where I'm like running through it, and like the first time I tried to leave, and Morgana was like, "Why don't you go to sleep?" I'm like,
why don't you go to sleep permanentally, Morgana?
Yeah,
like I'm gonna take you to the vet and have you put to sleep.
just out of the system.
Fucking cat.
Yeah, and then I'm trying to think the last thing I saw Ant-Man in theaters, and
kudos to you.
I mean, all I'll say, like, was the movie by any stretch of the imagination like anything to write home about? No, it was not. It a fun movie? Yeah, it had its moments that I feel like every Marvel movie is now just basically a fucking comedy, but it had its fun moments. I thought it's the best Ant-Man movie for what it's worth. And I liked Kang. I liked Jonathan Majors. So there were things I liked. But yeah, it was a thing. But
listen, I got something to say. I got something to say.
say
I have to get it off my chest.
Get it. Let's go.
I have to say it.
Let's say it. This is your platform.
I saw a tweet earlier today that really resonated with me. And it was the ending of the first Captain America movie. And it's Captain America waking up, and for people who probably don't remember this scene because it came out, God, a decade ago, however long it came out.
Longer than that.
He wakes up, and the Shield tries to convince him that he's still in the past, and he hears a ball game, and he's like, "Where am I?" Really?
I was at that game. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, "I was at that game," and then she presses the red button, and he throws guys through the wall and blasts through the wall and runs out in the middle of the street, and like. You see Steve Rogers looking around confused because he's in New York City. A phenomenal scene.
Yeah.
That really embraces the character, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the tweet said, wow, these actually used to be real movies. And I'm looking at that and I'm like, oh my God, he's right. And I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, the I Am Iron Man scene at the end of Iron Man 1,
Mm-hmm.
right? Where it's just like, oh shit, like he really did that. And I truly believe that we have reached a stage where
You're shitting these
there
movies
is no
out.
thought, there's no thought put into these movies. They know that they can get people based on like witty humor and a chuckle and big colorful action scenes.
Yeah.
And in a matter of a decade and a half, they have somehow run through 5 decades of
Of
comic book
content. Yeah.
stories.
Right.
And I mean, God, now we're talking about Kang the Conqueror. We've
Yeah.
already run through Thanos and
Ultron.
Loki, Ultron. We ran through Ultron in one movie,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that was a
And
fuck up.
he's almost never referenced ever again.
All right.
It's just like, I
See,
mean,
my problem now
you've done everything.
my problem now is I keep going because like this is probably the last phase I'm gonna do. Like at this point, if there's a phase after what is it, phase 6 or whatever it is, like I'm gonna watch this, as much as I can because at this point I'm too invested to like I'm not gonna stop watching because I feel like then I just wasted all my time. Like now I'm just gonna watch to see what happens, see it to the end. But because here's the part that sucks because I feel like Star Wars is like kind of getting into the same category. It could already be there. I need to catch up on Star Wars stuff besides the mainline movies. That like stuff you love. Like you and I both love comic books. You more than me, but like I love comic
No,
books.
well, not anymore. I
Okay,
mean,
wait.
I'm completely burned on that.
But we love Star Wars. We love like things that we love. Like we're naturally inclined to be like, ooh, new Star Wars. Like but it's just I don't know. I feel like they found a formula and it's making them money, so they're like kind of turning into EA with Madden, where like we don't really have to try, and it sucks because like all I see now is like, oh, I want to check out this new Star Wars. No, don't do it. It sucks. Everything like nothing's good anymore, and it's just kind of like, well, what then if I can't enjoy the things that I like grew up loving, then what am I? What the fuck? What are we doing?
Um, so the thing with Star Wars, though, is that I would argue that right now is the best time to be a Star Wars fan since the 80s.
Okay.
Because right now we're in the redemption arc of Star Wars, where we had the 3 movie abomination, right? And then Disney stepped back. And it really feels like they stepped back and they were like, all right, hold on. How do we fix this? All right, let's promote Dave Filoni, the guy who did the Clone Wars
Mm,
and Rebels, and the guy who can only shit out great Star Wars content, right?
yeah.
And they're like, let's let him do whatever the fuck he wants. And since he's taken the reins, we've gotten 2 amazing seasons of The Mandalorian,
I
right?
need to finish season 2.
We got half a great season of Boba Fett. The other half of it was like really weird and whatever, but it wasn't really related to Dave Filoni. He just did the episodes with unnamed character due to spoilers. Um, we've gotten Star Wars. Ahsoka is coming out, right?
Yeah.
And that's that. Everything Ahsoka touches is a banger.
People love Ahsoka.
Ahsoka's dude. When you hear Dave Filoni's approach to how he got people to love Ahsoka, you understand that Dave Filoni truly understands the Star Wars fan base and truly knew how to write a character for the Star Wars fan base, as opposed to someone who like the people who wrote, I don't know, the sequel trilogy, who weren't really Star Wars fans. I don't know if I've ever explained this to you before, but it's really worth hearing, right? Dave Filoni approached the Clone Wars TV show with the new character Ahsoka in mind. Now, granted, remember this: when Clone Wars first started, it wasn't owned by Disney yet. It was owned still by George Lucas.
Right, the LucasArts.
Yeah. So he approached the character of Ahsoka with, "I'm going to give this character massive innate flaws that people and the idea is that people are going to hate Ahsoka when she's first appeared on screen." And he wanted that to happen. He didn't want everyone to see Ahsoka and be like, "Oh, that's my new favorite character." He wanted you to look at Ahsoka and be like, "This little bitch thinks she's gonna mouth off to Anakin Skywalker. Fuck her," right? Like, because he knew that any new character he introduced to the Star Wars fan base was going to get immediate backlash. They were going to hate anything new, which they always do. He's right about that. The Star Wars fan base always hates new things. But by giving this character flaws like he gave Ahsoka, he could control what they hated and he could improve upon them, which he did. And this is all in like this amazing, I forget what it's called, this like round table approach.
That's pretty cool.
To Star Wars directors, and then I think it was about like the Mandalorian or something behind the scenes. But through 6 seasons of Clone Wars, you see Ahsoka grow, and then all of a sudden you realize that she's your favorite character. And then by the end of the Clone Wars, you have Ahsoka fighting Maul, and you're like, this blows anything else Star Wars out of the water. You're like, and she just has a one-on-one duel with Maul on Mandalore, and you're like, holy shit, what is happening? And she's like talking shit to Darth Maul, right? And you're like, holy shit. And then she shows up in The Mandalorian season 2, and you're out of your seat. And she shows up in Rebels, and it's like, these are the best episodes of Rebels all of a sudden. And everything Dave Filoni touches, he's a master at.
Now we're gonna get an Ahsoka movie. Like, is that coming?
We're getting an Ahsoka TV show.
Okay.
Coming. And it's like, I think he's so good at it because he was George Lucas's only real apprentice.
Okay.
Like, he learned from George Lucas. He knows secrets about the Star Wars series from the rule of 2 from George Lucas. So, man, and it's just, okay. I'm super excited about Ahsoka because never in a million years would I thought Ahsoka was going to be my favorite character. Yeah, but it is.
What I'm realizing is like I didn't realize how much I love Star Wars. Like I'm not a I guess it's not openly communicated how big of a Star Wars fan I am, but when I always catch myself like it's on my bucket list. Like I'm very jealous of you. I want to go to Galaxy's Edge. I want to build a lightsaber. I want to get robes. Like I want to do stuff. And like I've been dying to rewatch the entire movies again. Like and I just haven't done it. But like now that I have a bunch of free time, I'm like, let's fucking do it. We're doing it.
Go, dude. Fucking go for it.
So like, because I grew up loving Star Wars. They were always my favorite video games. Like some of my favorite video games of all time are Star Wars games. Like I love KOTOR. I love Republic Commando. I grew up playing Super Star Wars. Like I don't know. I just always have loved that series. And when I see new Star Wars stuff and I'm like, oh, I want to love this, but people shit all over it. I'm like, oh fuck God. It just feels like it's getting hard to love your hobby. Like I even love Jedi Fallen Order is like one of my favorite. It's flawed, I know, but one of my favorite Star Wars games like ever. Like it's so it
is really good.
Yeah, so I'm excited for the new one. So it's just like I want to be able to still love stuff soon, like April, I think April or May. I could be wrong, but
April 28th.
Yeah,
about almost exactly a month.
So the last thing I've been doing is. Recently, I started going back to the gym. So,
attaboy.
Yeah, decided to just kind of put a little bit of a pause on some, streaming subscriptions, and instead of that, just taking a gym membership. So, been going to the gym, dealing with the soreness, and learning that my body is 32 years old. I am not 25 anymore, and I feel really good though. My first couple days in, like I was having a bunch of neck pain before I started going, and then going to the gym, all of a sudden that neck pain is dissipated. So just rehabbing my body, rehabbing the mind, and I experienced the cold plunge, which that is an experience.
I won't do it.
It sucks. I'll be honest, it sucks, but like the recovery feels amazing. Because I would hate to think how sore I would have been the next day had I not done the cold plunge in the hot tub. So that's been getting that back in order, starting to get the diet back in order. Slowly. I don't know if I'm going to go back to keto, but I think I'm just going to go low carb. Like I don't know. I'm like on the fence about it, about like what I actually want to do. So I think I'm just going to start slowly going towards the low carb. And if I, at that point, feel like I can just start doing keto again, I will. But the only thing about keto that's starting to concern me is the fat intake. Like, I just want to make sure I'm not like doing damage to my heart by like fucking eating greasy ass bacon and shit like that. So like I may have to change up like what kind of fats I take in, but that's definitely something where I want to start investing in the body, start start getting myself to a point where, I still always want to feel good. Like, and that's the thing where
Yeah.
I think as I get older, and I think everyone goes through this, when you got to start taking care of your body. Otherwise, it's not going to take care of you, where you can't just be, oh, I feel great every day because I'm in my 20s and in my prime. So,
It's like the really it's the one thing in the world that you do not have a reset switch on,
right.
right? Like you don't have there's no like you can start from scratch. You can do that with your finances, you can
Hmm.
do that with your job, your career. You have pretty much anything except your body.
Right. So, yeah, getting that right. So that's where I'm at. Feeling real good though. Life's good right now, all things considered.
Nice. Good. I'm glad to hear it.
So, getting into the meat and potatoes. Getting into meat and potatoes. So, what do we think's going on with this 16-bit revival? Like, what do you think is triggered it? What do you think? Because all of a sudden, like, games like Chained Echoes has come out and reviewed really well. People, I think the heavy hitter coming is Sea of Stars. I haven't tried that
Mhm.
demo yet, but a game like Project Triangle Strategy, Octopath Traveler 2 is reviewing real well. That's in that same ilk. I'm trying to think what else is coming out. But there have been a bunch of games like in that same vein. Then all of a sudden, with the Legend of Dragoon getting ported, and well, it's more of a 32-bit, but that same 90s era, like, So what do you think has triggered this renaissance? Because it's a good time for us right now. If you're an RPG guy, turn-based RPG especially, your time is
Mhm.
now. You're eating good. It's steak every night, baby.
I think this is a really simple answer. And I think that it's not a renaissance, right? It's
It feels
just
that way.
that I will. Yeah, in a way, it is a renaissance, but in a way, what I'm thinking is that it's not because think about me and you, right?
Uh-huh.
If these games had come out at any point in time in the last 20 years, we would have been on them,
Yeah.
no matter what, right?
Right.
I don't think we're alone in that. I think that there is a massive amount of people just like us that love these type of games, but have been starved from them because the companies that made them, like Square Enix, moved on to different things.
Yeah.
But for the longest time, we've always been clamoring for them, right? It's always been like, you know, Square Enix, for the love of God, stop making dumb shit and just make what you're like what you're really good at, you know. Um, and I think that slowly over time, companies and indie developers have taken notice that things like the Trails of Cold Steel series
Yeah.
has taken off in the West, right? Um, but Project Octopath Traveler blew up.
Yeah.
You know, apparently the Tokyo RPG Factory games do well enough that they keep making sequels of them.
Correct.
Um, and I think that they're starting to put it together that it's like, okay, well, no, these games, people do want these games. It's not all about graphical fidelity. They want really intimate stories and character driven experiences and this classic type of gameplay. And we can pump that out without putting millions and millions of dollars into 3D modeling. And you can put a lot of heart and a lot of soul and
Yeah.
liveliness into pixel art. And it's the same thing that we fell in love with back in the day, dude. I'm telling you, the art in Chained Echoes is as good as you're gonna find it. It's beautiful. That game is gorgeous, and it's not a 3D modeled game. I don't have anything against 3D model games,
Yeah.
and I don't have anything against 3D RPGs at all. You know, I think there's definitely a place for them, but we're in a spot now where we can make these 16 era inspired games, right? Like I inspired
Yeah.
because obviously Octopath wouldn't run on the Super Nintendo,
Correct.
but it's inspired by that art style, right? Um, we can make them inspired, and you can draw out the same kind of emotion, but make it look really really good. But I would say that a renaissance would have to imply that something changed in society for this to happen. When I don't think anything changed, I think we have always been here waiting. It's that the companies and indie developers have finally taken notice and been like, "Oh shit, like this is a really untapped market with bloodthirsty fans waiting to take hold of it."
Yeah.
So
I not I
that's
think that
my
I think
answer.
that's a good take. And and the thing is, where a company like Square, like I feel like Square has been in this space specifically has been hitting at least home runs, or at least they've been hitting triples. Where they've been putting out some pretty good ones. Like you named Octopath, like I said, Project Triangle Strategy. Uh, Even games like the Trials of Rip Man, a remake. Uh,
Yeah.
what the hell is the other one? They did. I heard Tactics Ogre as it was not great, but uh, I can't think of the damn name. Live Alive, that game reviewed really well.
Oh yeah, I've
I
been
need
wanting to
that's on
play
my
that.
radar. I need to buy that. But like, so Square's been doing a really good job of in that space. So I don't know who it is or who the development teams are. Like whoever it is who's heading whatever that segment of Square. Like I feel like they've really hit a good stride as far as the content they're putting out. And then like I said, you even named the game like Chain Echoes, which I'm going to check out. Back to Square, the Pixel remakes are coming now, and I think like the momentum for them right now is probably perfect timing, because I feel like the conversation around these games is the loudest it's ever been since I guess when they were really the main only types of RPGs you could play. Like I feel like the conversations around these games right now are just so vibrant, and you're seeing them, a lot of them. So
Hmm.
I'm happy. This is a booming time, buddy.
One thing I will say now, and we kind of skipped over this because we got distracted, but what is going on with these ports of classic
Yeah.
games?
So
Because apparently the Legend of Dragoon port is
it's
fucked up
fucked.
too.
Yeah. So now we're gonna get to the underside of this. So this is one of our misconducts. So we're gonna run through this. This is we're gonna get on to Sony and Namco Bandai. So Sony, I guess the port is having the same issues that like Wild Arms was having, where it just doesn't run well. Like it just runs like shit.
How?
I don't know. I don't understand. I don't understand if it's something within the PS5 or the PS5's framework or whatever it is, that they just cannot run their legacy content. But you're gonna sit there and fucking sell it to me though? Who's
Dude,
QAing this?
here's the thing, right? I understood it for Chrono Cross because Chrono Cross was a notoriously hard game to
But
emulate.
they're fixing it.
It always gave problems on the PlayStation emulator. But you're right, they fixed it. They went back and fixed it. Legend of Dragoon has never given anybody a problem
No.
emulating it. I played almost all the way through Legend of Dragoon in like 2008 on my PSP.
Yeah.
It works
You
fine,
can
and I
buy
don't understand.
you can buy it on the
I don't,
PSN and it works fine. Like how like I remember on the PS3 you can buy it, and PSP and Vita, like it runs fine. So I don't understand. Is it adding trophy and upres? Like what happened?
I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. But it's unacceptable the state that these ports are coming out in. Tales of Symphonia has been fucked for years.
But
I don't
here,
know if you know this or not. Like the port they put out on PS3 is apparently abysmal
dude, it's
because they locked
brutal.
it to 30 frames a second.
Yeah, which why'd you make that decision? But you know what? Here's the crazy shit they did this time, right? So this Tales of Symphonia HD or whatever we're gonna call it. Did you know that they didn't even include Dawn of the New World this time?
Is it
Even
because
though
it sucks?
regardless of it sucks, you literally had a port that has both, that yeah runs like not great, but then you put the same port and then take a game away from us. So you're like, were y'all trying to be slick and be like, oh, if they like this one, we'll give you a Dawn of the New World too later next year? Like, what were we doing here? And I feel like Namco, like, you got to be careful. I'm eyeballing you because they're doing that Baitin Kaitos update, and now I'm
Hmm.
not. Now I'm skeptical. Now I'm skeptical.
And you have every reason to be.
That one, I looked at that like, that wasn't good. That you shouldn't have did that. You shouldn't have did that.
That's one RPG that has always eluded me.
It eluded me too, and it's you know what the part that sucks. I had both Baitin Kaitos games in my collection at one point, and being on that broke boy time, I sold them at some point probably when I needed money, and and now I look at how much they run for now, and it's just like, God, I hate myself so much, and yeah, but I and you know what sucks? This couldn't come at a worse time for the Tales series for me, because like I was getting ready to like dip my toe back in, and like I was like, I was actually gonna pick up the Tales of Symphonia port and like be like, that's kind of, get it's like getting something you're familiar with. Like, all right, I'll play Replay Symphonia now. Now that port sucks, I'm like, great. I'll go if I want to go be miserable. I'll go play Zesteria. All right, fucking assholes.
I don't understand you with the series.
um, I,
Um,
I got burned out.
yeah,
I'm still burned out.
you burned yourself out on purpose.
Dude, I haven't. I think since until I touched Hysteria, I haven't touched the Tales game in like 10 years. It's what
Tales of the Abyss is legitimate, not Abyss. A Tales of what's the last one that came out?
a Bizarria. Oh no, Tales of
No,
Arise. Sorry, see,
Arise.
I can't remember.
Tales of Arise is legitimately one of the best RPGs I've played in the last
And I'm
decade.
gonna wait till
And
it's
you're
like $10. I'm gonna buy it.
they're in the, oh my god, you drive me crazy. You drive me crazy.
It's the Tales series. Like I want to love it. I do love certain games, but when you get burned, and like now I'm just. I will never. I don't know if I'll ever get over that Tales of Hysteria L. Like I don't know if I'll ever get over it. Like you're not gonna burn me at $60 and then just like think we're cool. I'll never forgive it. That'll be a permanent like gaming trauma memory. You're coming home.
I don't know what to say.
It's payday. You blow $120. No, I lied. You blow $180 on Street Fighter V, Star Ocean 5, and Tales of Hysteria, and you take fat fucking L's on all.
But you're still buying Square games at full price, right?
Am I? Am I?
And Star Ocean burnt you pretty hard. I would say arguably worse than Hysteria.
I bought Star Ocean at $30, and I used a gift card to get Final Fantasy VII Reunion or whatever it is. You'll never get me at full price. It's not happening.
and to be fair,
and I didn't pay for Final Fantasy VII Remake.
You're right, you didn't. We were living together when you decided to hurt yourself by playing Hysteria, and I said, just watch the anime. No. The anime is 24 episodes. It's great. You can just play. You can play Berseria then in the same world. No. You're like, no, not doing that. Fuck you.
No, because you can't just give me an L at $60. Not happening. Like I'm gonna get my money's worth, but I'm not gonna be happy about it.
It was an L no matter what because you didn't enjoy your time.
I got like 14 hours in. I'm like, I can't. This sucks.
Yeah, it does. It sucks. Hysteria is terrible. I don't know what they were thinking.
So yeah, but yeah, I'm concerned, but I'm excited at the same time because I hope that this focus on giving us older games and remastering them is exciting for me because I think it opens up these games to come down in price to get the original versions. But it also could have the reverse effect where the port blows, so now everyone wants the original version more. So it could be a double-edged sword, but I'm hoping other games get some attention. Like I think the Xenosaga games, I think it's high time they got some kind of port to newer hardware, even though now I don't really trust Namco to do those ports. But
I think if Xenosaga got ported, I think people would have a really hard time going back and playing them.
I'm trying to think what else.
Those games are brutal in today's standards.
Yeah, I think it'd just be a cool callback to another time. I'm trying to think of another game that needs it. I can't think of off the top of my head, but I just hope that like some of the Skies of Arcadia would be the other one that I think needs some love. But yeah, I think it's a really good time in that space. Do you have any closing thoughts on that, sir? Before we move on to the like real meat and potatoes here, because we got some shit to discuss.
I don't think so. I think we nailed it in the RPG conversation.
Okay, so we had a state of play recently, and there was really nothing of note for me until I saw Kill the Justice League, Suicide Squad. Did you watch the trailer? Did you are you on Media Blackout? Where are you at, buddy?
I'm not buying this game.
Really? You're just not even in?
Yeah.
It's Rocksteady, though.
I don't give a fuck.
It's Rocksteady. Did they hurt you?
First off, no, it's not Rocksteady. First off, I don't give a fuck about superheroes anymore. Second, I don't give a flying fuck about the Suicide Squad. Like, I don't care about the Suicide Squad. On the third note, apparently it's an Avengers type microtransaction heavy fuckfest of a game. and there's nothing for me here. There's absolutely nothing for me here. I don't give a shit about Captain Boomerang. Harley Quinn's a mass murdering animal who needs to be fucking put down the same way the Joker should be put down, right? Um, who else? Deadshot. I don't
Headshot.
care. No one,
Yeah.
no one knew anything about Deadshot until Will Smith played the character. And I don't know who else is on the team.
King Shark.
Captain Shark or whatever the fuck his name is.
So when I saw it was games as a service, I was like, no.
I knew it was going to happen. I knew immediately it was going to happen. You don't just put a team based game in like that, and especially around the same time Avengers was coming out. It was so predictable, dude. Even though they said they weren't going to do it.
So, and here's the thing. So, like, Rocksteady's known for like the Arkham games, and I don't know how, or maybe they got told to do this. I don't know how their structure is, but like, you're known for doing really good stuff with DC heroes, and like they've been the only company that's done like a DC franchise justice for a long time. So when I saw Suicide Squad kill the Justice League, I was like, all right. But then I saw the trailers, I'm like, okay. And then like when they introduced like the Flash, who's like all evil and all that, but I'm like, I was into it. And then when I found that out, I was like, oh no. Because I hated Avengers. Hated it.
Yeah, everyone did. That's why it's getting closed down. You're not going to be able to play it next year.
Good. Don't need to. So
the world's better.
All y'all who bought the Avengers, fat fucking L, you have a paperweight now. Good job. So
don't make a game with Kamala Khan as the main hero. She's never been that good. Y'all wanted to pretend she was, right? You're like, oh, this Miss Marvel's amazing. She's got all the powers of Mr. Fantastic. No one cares.
All right.
No one cares about Kamala Khan. The only people who care about Kamala Khan are the people who say they care about Kamala Khan and don't buy any comics or any media with her in it. Right?
Yeah. So
how many people talk about the Miss Marvel TV show? No one.
It sucks.
Yeah, no one.
Who talks about She-Hulk? Sucks.
Her comic book's been canceled like 5 times.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on.
I'd rather watch the fucking Question than fucking watch the goddamn.
So you take someone who's cool, like Steve Rogers or Bruce Banner, right? We're not going to make them the main character. We're going to make Kamala fucking Khan the main character.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah. I agree.
I'm very passionate about this.
Dude,
I hate this character.
I don't disagree, man. And like, it's just, I don't know. And maybe it's just us because like games as a service besides maybe Destiny, but like, I feel like the way they go about it is a little bit different. Like, I don't like these types of games. Like, I just don't like it. I don't like it. I don't know why we keep making them. I don't know why we keep fucking quality developers end up making fucking shit products because of it. Because like Rocksteady's not the only one who's done this. BioWare fucking kicked themselves right in the dick doing this. Who else?
Yep.
Didn't Platinum Games put out a game recently that was a games as a service? Like,
yeah, it was absolutely terrible. Like, Platinum and Square.
Yeah, like
Babylon's Fault.
Like, what are you thinking? What do we? And they even did that with Dissidia too. Like, are you gonna make it a fucking arena game? Like, what the fuck are we? What are we doing here?
No, see, I love it. Yeah, I love it because for every one of these games that fail and incur a massive financial loss, is the closer we get to the end of this godforsaken trend.
I can't wait for it to be dead because like
this is just like the MMO bubble.
Yeah, like only certain companies can do MMOs, and really only I feel like there's only like maybe because I don't. A lot of people consider Destiny an MMO. I don't.
Yeah.
So like, I just feel like you can't keep thinking this is profitable. Like I don't know, man, because it's disappointing because I was really looking forward to the next Rocksteady game. I really was because they were like one of my favorite devs. I loved what they did with the Arkham games. And now, like, I don't know. It's a dark time for me right now with that. Because I was looking forward
superheroes.
I was looking forward to Kill the Justice League. I was really looking forward to that until like I found out it was a live service game, and I'm like, all right, I guess I'm out. Hopefully, there's an Injustice 3.
Nope, it's time to abandon the superhero shtick, Pedro. It's time. Let it go, dude. I'm telling you, it's over. The superhero bubble burst, and it's over
Because it became too mainstream.
It's too mainstream now. We didn't gatekeep it properly, and
Yeah,
now we let all these
how'd that
fakers
happen?
in.
We gatekeep everything fucking else now, but we superheroes we just let anyone in.
Yep, I don't know. It's too much, dude. Alden tagged me in a tweet recently
Uh huh.
about the latest Spider-Man comic, and like there's a really controversial thing that Peter Parker says in the latest Spider-Man comic where he's like talking to Black Cat, who he's dating now again, by the
Oh,
way,
okay.
and she's like, what, she's asking about his feelings towards Mary Jane, and he's like, we've been through so much together, but I see her more as a sister than anything, right?
Mm.
And it's just like
Mm.
Marvel hates their fans.
Mm.
They Marvel hates their fans. They've been actively trying to destroy Peter Parker and Peter Parker's character for decades now, and they've I came to the realization they don't want me as a customer, right?
They don't want your
They don't
money.
want me. No, they don't want me as a customer. They don't want my money. They've done nothing but spit in my face for 2 decades. So now I'm done.
Mm.
Now I'm out. Same with DC. When DC did that bullshit with Batman and Catwoman, and they burned a whole bunch of comic stores, they were making it very loud and clear. The kind of character development you want isn't coming. They don't want me as a customer. I'm a person that cares about Batman's character and how he develops. They don't want me. And
So
even to go as far as Dan Slott going on Twitter saying that character development in comics is a myth and that everyone needs to believe in character development. And now Dan Slott, by the way, longest running Spider-Man writer of all time.
mm.
He's saying that character development is a myth in comics, that you need to believe that the character is going to develop in order to get you to buy the books, but everyone needs that first Peter Parker experience. And I replied to Alden, I'm like, this Peter Parker isn't the one. This isn't my Peter Parker, right? The Peter Parker I grew up with was a successful professor. He was on the main team of the Avengers. He had earned his place there. He had earned his relationship in marriage with Mary Jane, and he had earned all the prestige he got. This current Peter Parker is stuck as a 28-year-old broke person living in New York City who can't hold a steady job. It's not the same character. That the character that I grew up with is long gone. This is just some shitty knockoff. And what I don't understand is they didn't have to do this. They could have had Peter Parker age and grow and move on and be happy and have the new readers focus on Miles Morales, right? Miles Morales could have been the up and coming Spider-Man, and you could have had this aging successful Spider-Man on the Avengers, and he doesn't even have to have his own book, right? I would have bought in the Avengers book to see Spider-Man in it, but no, we're not going to do that. Now don't have me a customer at all. Instead, we're going to make Miles Morales irrelevant in the comics and call his comic Spider-Man, by the way, and then have Peter Parker's comic called The Amazing Spider-Man, right? And also, by the way, we're going to have like 2 more spin-offs all based around Peter Parker and with Spider-Man in their title. But Miles Morales gets one called Spider-Man. Okay? And people like don't understand my hatred for Miles Morales. And it's not really my hatred for Miles Morales, it's my hatred for Marvel and how they write Miles Morales. They introduced this character to people who loved Ultimate Spider-Man 1 issue after they brutally murdered Ultimate Peter Parker. And they're like, you're going to love this or you're a racist. No,
Right.
fuck you. I'm not
Okay,
doing
so,
that.
'cause
You can kiss my ass.
Because here's the thing, like, so Miles Morales is supposed to be, and I don't know who thought this was. I don't know the thought process behind this, but he's supposed to be my Spider-Man, like,
Right.
and no,
Because you can't relate to any other characters.
right, like, no, that, like, who thought that? Who thought that, like, if you're gonna make him Hispanic, okay, whatever, I don't care, but like, don't sit there and then market him to me as my Spider-Man. Like, no, my Spider-Man's Peter Parker, just like your Spider-Man's Peter Parker,
Right.
Like, if I need a Latino superhero, unfortunately, I have fucking Vibe and Blue Beetle. All right, like, it is what it is. It is what it is. But like,
I don't know if you've realized this though, but they didn't just do this with Miles Morales.
they
They
did
did
it with
this
a
with
couple
fucking
people.
everybody.
Yeah.
They did this with fucking everybody. Now we have Spider Gwen.
Yeah.
Right?
The woman
And
Spider-Man.
we have the Japanese Spider-Man. We have
I didn't know there was a Japanese Spider-Man.
dude, Spider-Man stopped being Spider-Man, and now it's the only stories we get from the Spider-Man like books are Spider-Verse.
I don't like that.
And by the way,
And
and
the
I
sad part,
have
I
to
like the Into the Spider-Verse movie, but no.
I have to say this: the Spider-Verse comic event was fucking atrocious and dumb, and it was a catchy name. And the Into the Spider-Verse movie does not follow the comic plot
No.
line whatsoever. It's not even close. There's nothing similar between them at all besides interdimensional Spider-Man.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
And like we all watched the Spider-Verse movie, and I mean I don't know how you felt about it, but I know me and Robert were like, yeah, it was fun. We enjoyed it, but
I
like,
thought Into the Spider-Verse was a great movie. I think it's
yeah,
a fantastic movie. It's what happens when you get real writers who aren't fucking bloggers to write a story about Spider-Man, right? You have an aging, successful, or a down on his luck Peter Parker in that case, right?
yeah,
He's been through all the battles. He's a mentor to the new up and coming Miles Morales.
yeah.
And Miles Morales earns his place by the end of the movie.
Okay, yeah,
Miles Morales has never earned his place in the comics. And I want to be very clear about this. Not one time has he ever earned his place. He's been given it to him over and over and over again. And if you need any justification of that, read the first Miles Morales book after Secret War Collision,
okay.
when this demon wipes out the entire Avengers team. Miles Morales walks onto the battlefield and one shots him. Bam, done.
No.
Yes. Swear to God.
Mm,
That happens in the first Miles Morales issue on Secret Wars.
wow.
That is what happens constantly in Marvel Comics. And they expect me to just be like, that's a good character.
Yeah. I will
No,
say,
not going to happen.
I will say, side note, I know you didn't care, you didn't really feel this way. I liked the Miles Morales Spider-Man game, for the record. For the record, that'll always be a thumbs up for me. I enjoyed that.
I didn't like the villain.
I did. I thought, okay, let me put it this way. I thought it was a unique spin, so maybe for me it was just fresh. Because I always thought they made Taskmaster like just kind of dumb all the time. So like this one at least
Well,
felt,
it was the Tinkerer. It wasn't
yeah,
the
that was what I
Taskmaster.
said. Yeah, Tinkerer, my bad. Yeah, so like I enjoyed it, and I'm like, all right, this is fresh. I'm in. So I enjoyed that game. So, but I don't disagree with you on the Miles Morales
The
issue.
comics suck. I mean, it's over. It's over for Marvel Comics, dude. And when Alden asked me my opinion, I'm like, I don't care anymore, dude. I don't care.
So now, what do you care about? Where is that passion gone? Where do you pour it into?
I wish I fucking knew. I don't know.
I love it. This is your villain arc.
I don't know. I got really into collecting Dragon Ball figures, a series that's never really let me down, and I have a Kaseki shelf building above my head, the
Nice.
Reen statue. So
Speaking of Dragon Ball, did you see they're doing more Kakarot DLC?
yeah, I did. I didn't. I didn't. I'll be honest. I wasn't. Looking back on it, super big on the Bardock DLC.
Yeah.
I wasn't super big on it. I know a couple episodes ago I was like raving about it, but now that I've got some distance away from it, I'm like, I'm good. I don't need to ever go back and play that. But the next DLC does look legitimately cool because it's the Dragon Ball DLC. So I might
Yeah, I think
actually
that's
go back
pretty
and check that
cool.
out.
So,
Yeah,
speaking now that we're on the topic of anime a little bit, I heard Bleach is coming back, or is it's back?
I don't know. I don't know fuck all about Bleach.
Neither.
All I know is that apparently the last arc was like butchered, so now they're doing like a new last arc to give it like a justification,
Yeah.
like what it deserved. I've never watched Bleach.
What? But what's that about? Like, it had been. I remember Bleach was. It's a Shonen Jump anime, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I I guess post Dragon Ball Z, I could be wrong on here, but this is just my take. There are probably people who are like me, who like grew up Dragon Ball fans, watched Dragon Ball Z and GT, and then just kind of taper off. Like, but is there a sect of like fans that like, and this is what I've been told, after Dragon Ball Z, either you went to Naruto, Bleach, or One Piece?
I would say yes.
And I don't know, for me, I just missed that whole, like, that just went nope. Like I
So
somehow
like
sidestepped all that because I am not a One Piece guy. I don't really know. I don't really like Naruto. I'm gonna be honest. I don't care for it. It's a couple good episodes
so
here and
like
there, but mm,
I
not for me.
famously I was really big into Naruto when it first came out. Um but I was getting the weekly, not the weekly, it was monthly back then. It was monthly
Yeah,
Shonen Jump delivered to my house, and I was reading Naruto, and it was really good. And then the anime premiered, and I heard Naruto's voice, and I saw it was like the anime is very dumbed down for children.
yeah.
They made the anime as intro to children as possible, and they packed it full of filler. I think the Naruto anime is pretty bad, but I think the manga is really good. I read through all the Naruto manga. After
See,
that, I don't know where I went. I just became like a normal anime fan, but I definitely did go from Dragon Ball to Naruto at some point.
so for me, like, I just feel, and I think I've said this before, but I just feel like there is just this block for me on anime after about 2005. Like, I just feel like anime died for me. Like, I don't know what happened. Like, I honestly don't know what happened because, like, I was a huge Dragon Ball Z fan. I love Gundam. And I would still watch Gundam like here and there. Like, I watched Double O and I watched Seed. I'm like on episode 7 of Iron Blooded Orphans right now. Like, I'm trying to finally finish that. So I never stopped loving mecha anime, but I also didn't like actively like continue to watch. And now I'm finding that it's hard for me to get back into certain animes. Like, I watch Vox Machina and I like it, but like I watched like my buddy Adam here watches a bunch of animes and they're hard for me to get into because I just feel like they're all very campy and they're like almost there's no individuality for me, it feels
Mm-hmm.
like I don't know, when I watch like a show, and maybe it's just nostalgia, so I could be just definitely wrong here, but like I watch a show, like I'll go back and watch like Outlaw Star, or I'll go back and watch like Big O, or I'll go back and watch Samurai X, and like I just feel like the games, these animes had like a soul to them. Like there was a,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, and I just feel like anime right now. I'm sure there are good ones that people like. I see these Berserk animes I kind of want to check out because I feel like I might like that, but
Get ready for a fucking ride,
yeah,
bud.
or like, I just recently rewatched the Fist of the North Star animes, and yeah, you know how I feel about Fist of the North Star, love it, but like I just feel
I
like
think you would like. I think you would like Berserk. So the anime is just simply a medium, right?
it's too mainstream now.
It's definitely mainstream right now. The we're still reeling from the success of Sword Art Online, which I love Sword Art. Right,
I
I'm
love the first season minus one thing, and
unabashed, unabashed Sword Art fan. I don't care what anyone says. I love Sword Art. But now the whole anime industry's copied Sword Art, and now all we're getting is like Sword Art clones. Still, 10 years later, so that sucks. But there's like really good stuff out there, man. And if you like Dragon Ball and you like Trading Hands, there's tons of shonen anime out there. I think Berserk is a excellent place because even our boy Watson loved Berserk. Don't watch it unless you're ready for some sad shit though, because Berserk is brutal.
now's the time for me to have all the sad, Seth, all the sad.
Yeah. Berserk is like horrifically brutal. It is beyond Game of Thrones level. I mean, we're talking some serious shit in Berserk. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I'll check that out. But yeah, I just I don't know, man. Like I feel like I'm struggling to find the one for me. Like I can always hark back to the stuff I grew up with, and maybe again that's a nostalgia. But I'm hoping that I can over these next couple weeks as I'm diving into the anime because I want to start collecting anime, even though for some reason that's expensive. By the way,
Always has been. It's not even like retro anime. Dude, one half season of anime costs like $50. It's
yeah, it's
absurd.
nuts. But
It's out of control.
yeah, so if I mean, I feel like I know enough people who watch anime who have any recommendations. Shoot your boy a DM, slide on in there, shoot me some recommendations. So moving on, going through the rest of our misconduct. So AMC, remember in the last show we talked about they were charging for specific seat prices. So I recently experienced this when I went and saw Ant-Man, and dude, that sucks. They make going to movies real hard now. Like that was so. We had the
I have
idea.
zero desire to do it.
We had the idea last minute. Like, hey, just go check out Ant Man. Whatever. It was. I
Mhm.
think it was a Saturday. No, yeah, it was a Saturday night, opening weekend. So I guess maybe again, maybe just living out in the greater Philadelphia area now, I got to kind of take that into account. But we get there, and we get just shit seats. Like we had to get the seats like right up front. So like like almost like the neck breaker seats or like that. Um,
Oh, that's awful. I watched all Avengers 1 like that.
yeah.
Terrible
So like,
experience.
and because those were the only seats like available, and like, so like I felt like now it's gonna create a thing. If I want to go to a movie, like I got to just buy everything online and it's first come first serve. So like now like I can't really enjoy movies the way I want to because like I gotta if I'm going to watch a movie on opening weekend late, like you're fucked. I might as well not go because I'm not gonna get seats I want, and I'm like that's a big part of like the experience, like getting a good viewing angle and being comfortable and being able to like really get into the movie. And for like so much Ant-Man, I was like, oh my fucking neck, this sucks. And
I don't even know why they make those seats.
yeah,
Everyone knows they're terrible.
yeah, but they were the only seats available, and we're already there. So I'm like, well, fuck,
Yeah.
here it is. So yeah, like that I don't like. And then there were like empty seats, and so somebody bought a seat online and never showed up. I'm like, come on, dude, like that's why you don't fucking do that. And then they were coming in and checking, making sure everyone was in the right seat. Like, dude,
How are they checking though? How are they knowing that everyone's in the
because
right seat? Are they being like,
it's
"Yo,
on your
show me"?
ticket.
They were like literally walking around being like, "Show me your
Yeah,
ticket."
yeah.
Wow, what a
So
miserable experience.
yeah,
What
so
a way to kill theaters faster.
yeah, so like, and here's the thing though, because like this AMC was like I guess one of the more modern AMC's that had like the nice reclining seats with the digital layouts and all that. So, but like if one of the movie theaters down, like I couldn't imagine that at the fucking Regal in Muncie, like, oh yeah, you're gonna fucking okay, these old ass fucking
Yeah.
fart filled seats, like fuck off.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I've had almost no desire to go back to the movies ever since they shut down. Um, because we get the movies so quick now at home, and in my opinion, watching a movie at home is just a way better experience.
It is
I
now,
can
yeah,
pause it and take a piss. I have a great sound system. I have an awesome TV. I don't need the theater anymore, and I don't need like these absurd prices and
yeah,
I don't know shitty employees.
yeah,
I don't, and like people like ripping vape clouds in front of me and
yeah.
being on their cell phone distracting me, and there's nothing I can. I have to if I have to take a piss, I have to miss part of the movie. Like
Right.
I'm over theaters, dude. I'm ready for them to die.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how it because yeah, I agree. The home theater experience right now is probably the best it's been or it's gonna be. So, like I had a better time watching the Batman at home than I did watching it in the theaters.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're making it real hard to justify going to movies there, AMC. So just for the record, you're doing a good job of committing seppuku. It's fucking
And you know what? Like we used to all do it for something to do to go out,
yeah,
right? Well, like, dude, go to dinner with your friends. Do
yeah,
something other than sit there and watch a movie at the movie theater
right.
because it sucks. I mean, I don't know.
It does
I'm not a
suck.
fan of the movie theater.
It does suck because now, like, I used to look forward to that. Like, there used to be nothing more that I loved. Like, all right, a big movie's coming out. Let's go get the boys. Let's go watch this flick. Maybe go out for beers, get food afterwards, talk about it, and like, I don't know. I used to love that. Some of my fondest memories are us fucking disagreeing about movies, walking out of the theater. Like, I think it's funny, but now it's like we'll just have to fucking do that at home, or when a big movie comes out, I'll assemble at Castle Slike House and watch a flick. Or wherever we decide to have movie night at. So just it sucks. I feel like getting old is watching everything you love just fucking turn to shit. So
Speaking of Castle Slake House, one thing I really want to do is I want to hire an artist to do like a Victorian style painting of me and Caitlin and our two cats, like staring off into a corner. Like you know what I'm talking about? Like an old school Victorian style painting.
just have an
I think
AI
it'd
do it,
be
bro.
awesome. Like a massive one though, like one that's like 8 feet tall, and it's just like me and Caitlin staring off into a corner,
That's really
and
funny.
just like yeah, with like our cats in front of us. I think it'd be really funny. You walk in,
See,
it's the first thing you see.
see if an art student at Lockhaven will do it for you. Bang. Oh
Hey, this is
man.
the only job you're ever gonna get. Would you like it?
So moving on to the free shit. It's a light week. Epic Game Store. I've never heard of these two games, Duskers and Warpip, and Amazon Games. Same shit as last week. All the SNK,
Okay.
more. It was literally the same shit. So I'm just like, I'm not even gonna bother typing this.
All right.
Yeah. So and like I was telling you, like when I saw Morrowind again, I'm like, who is running this? Oh,
I don't know.
funny fucking story. So funny story. I got really sick last week, like randomly after dinner. I felt like physically ill. I'm like, oh no. And I was, had the runs and then was vomiting and like this. I was poisoned. Thank you, Adam. And I took the day off work the next day because I didn't get to bed until like 5 a.m. and I had to be in for 8. I'm like, I'm not pushing through it. Not doing it. Can't do it.
Yeah.
Taking the day. I have sick time for a reason. So, uh,
Bad boy.
I was so like just out of it and just looking for something to watch because I was like too sick to play video games because I'm like anytime I want to get in something I fucking feel like I'm gonna shit myself. I'm miserable. So I literally put on a long YouTube video that was the entire lore of Elder Scrolls Daggerfall.
Holy shit! Are
It was,
you?
it was like a 6-hour video, so there's parts I missed because I fell asleep, but other parts where I was like, Jesus.
People do not understand how deep that world is, dude. I love Elder Scrolls lore.
Yeah,
It's phenomenal.
it was awesome because like some of the shit that I guess they did in Daggerfall is like how they established like the other
Mm-hmm.
parts of. I'm like, Jesus Christ, like who
Yeah.
thought of this, and how doesn't this get more attention that somebody developed this rich lore and fleshed out all these characters? Like who wrote this? Like,
Because most people just want to jump into like Elder Scrolls and treat it like GTA. They just jump in and start killing everybody, not paying attention to any of the stuff. They don't read any of the books, right?
yeah,
Someone sat there and wrote all these books, hundreds of books in Skyrim, right? And then put them in the game, and people just pick them up and they're like, "Thanks for the skill points, asshole," and throw them away. You know, like
that's gotta be. Think how fucking deflating that is.
yeah. I mean, like, but for people that care, like the 10 people that care, like me, the lore is there, and there's like 30-year-old mysteries that are set up in the Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, and that was what they're saying. Like some of the shit that like happens in Daggerfall, like you find out like the ramifications of that in Skyrim, where someone will just make a comment
Yeah,
like, "Oh, this happened," and like for the 5 people who did that, like who read back that lore, they're like, "Oh shit!" So it's just
it's
like,
the same way for Fallout too. By the way, like I don't know if you know this, but
Mhm.
there's like an old god in Fallout 4
I didn't know that.
that's like influencing people and like controlling their minds and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it has like huge ramifications for the series. No one fucking knows about it because no one reads any of the fucking stuff.
Well, because sometimes they make it okay. So these games make it really hard for me to get into the lore because like the last thing I want to do is spend 4 hours reading a bunch of texts. Like, and it's hard for me to do it because I'm there to play the video game. I want to do this quest. Like, I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
It's very rare for me to read a lore unless something catches my eye. Like I'm an audio tape guy, so like even because Metal Gear Solid 5 did this. A lot of the stories told through the audio tapes, and like while that's I think is a super shitty way of storytelling, I don't like it. Especially if you're gonna tell a main story, but if you're gonna tell me some side shit, I'm in. I'll listen to it. I like that stuff. But yeah, like for the Elder Scrolls, it's like um it is super deep lore. And for the record, my opinion's changed on the Elder Scrolls, by the way. I didn't really like Skyrim until I played it again. And I need to go back to it and maybe finish the main quest line at least. Um I've noticed these games, these even like a game like The Witcher, I get overwhelmed by DLC. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know if I should buy Game of the Year editions because I do that and then like I get overwhelmed.
You start the game and it just plops like 50 quests on you
Yeah,
immediately.
well, and then like it doesn't really like they're so non-linear that like I don't know if I can do this quest or I don't know if I should do this quest. Like, and I feel like that's for me. That's a bad way to get me into an open world game because like when you feel overwhelmed, you just kind of don't want to do anything. You're like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's fair. That's true. No, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, I'm just annoyed that Bethesda decided to do Starfield because I think Starfield is going to be terrible.
Did that get
And
delayed?
no, it just
Okay.
they didn't give it an official release date. It's probably going to come out like
Oh god.
that's what Maddie's assuming anyway when I listen to the podcast. But damn, dude, I think Starfield's going to be bad, and I think that it being the reason Elder Scrolls isn't coming out until like fucking 2026 is awful because I think Starfield's gonna come out and it's gonna be mid as fuck, as the kids like to
So
say.
here's what scares me: the ramifications if Starfield is bad is not good. That's not good.
Oh no, it's not. No,
That'll be that.
Xbox is in trouble.
That yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're in trouble. Like you're in some big trouble then, because Sony, while this last state of play was fucking brutal. Granted, this was for more for VR, and we get it, but yeah, if Microsoft, who's shown all of fuck all for games, like remember when I had the conversation, like I've been wanting to get rid of my Xbox One X or get it at least a Series S or Series X. They don't give me a reason to. There is no reason
No,
to.
no, I feel the same way. I'm
Yeah,
like, all right, I'll
there's
play
no
all my third-party games on Xbox Game Pass on PC,
yeah,
but
but there's literally no reason. Like right now, like the Series S is what 2 years old now, right?
yeah,
2 years,
it's
something
not
like that,
bad.
approaching 3, and I'm still rocking my One X because I feel no reason to upgrade. I feel no reason. There has been no app that's come out that's like, oh fuck, it's time for me to jump myself to the future, and that's sad. That's not good.
Well, I think they have a very unclear direction. I'm not sure what their end game is because it's clearly not selling systems.
No, so then why put one out?
Game Pass is clearly where they want to put their money into, and I don't know why. Because because you can't tell me they're making more money on Game Pass than they would be on just selling like really good games on their system.
No,
I
they don't.
refuse to believe that. I refuse to believe that. So I'm not sure what their end game is, and I think it's
Well,
confusing
I'm
to
assuming
people
their end game.
because
Like, I'd be shocked if they ever came out with another system. Like, I think Game Pass is just going to be on everything. Like, you see, they're putting it on Samsung TVs, and they'll
yep,
eventually cut another deal. Which I mean, I guess long term, have a subscription service, eliminate the overhead of fucking developing consoles, and that cost the manufacturing cost. Like, it makes sense. I get it.
yeah.
But in the same token, like, give me a reason then to have your platform. Like, even if you have an app, like if there's nothing from Microsoft that I fucking give a fuck about, because like let's the state of Microsoft right now, right? They fucked up Halo. 343 needs to be fired into the fucking sun. I'm sorry, they need to be pulled off Halo. They fucked up Halo, and it sucks because I liked Infinite. Like I liked the campaign. I think campaign wise, it's the best campaign since ODST. It's like right in
Wow.
that. It's like right in there, like the Halo 3 ODST range. um, but they fucked up multiplayer. There's no couch co-op, so you and th- ah ah, and then the only I'll put it to you this way: the only Microsoft first party studio that has done anything of note is Coalition. I think they've done a really good job with the Gears franchise, and they should be commended. That's their one heavy hitter for me right now.
I haven't
Bethesda,
played any Gears games since 2.
I recommend playing 4 and 5. They're really good. And you can couch co-op. Like one of my favorite times now, like playing through Gears 5 with my buddy Adam. Greatest fucking time I've had in probably 10 years with the game, because like the couch co-op, us experiencing the story together, like we'll always have that. So like that game will always have a special place to me. But like I said, the Coalition real good. Ninja Theory, I think we're still waiting on Setsu. I am set or not. I am set. Senua Hellblade.
There you go,
And
buddy.
yeah, we're stumbled through that. Like got to show me something. When's that game coming out? Freaking Obsidian, like they put out Pentiment, which I haven't played, but I've heard it's gotten mixed reviews. They put out a couple games, but I think they're doing Avowed. Correct? Is that them?
That
I
sounds
think
right.
they're doing
Obsidian.
And
Yeah,
they're gonna do the Outer Worlds too, which I like the Outer Worlds. So those are games I'm looking forward to. But like again, I'm not seeing anything. Like you're giving me basically right now in a nutshell. Microsoft is giving us a bunch of vaporware, and then they're fucking up the stuff that they're supposed to do that's quality. So like you bought Bethesda, and now you're going to tell me Starfield is going to be shitty? Like that can't happen. Like you can't do that.
where
Are the games? Where are
where
the games?
is where is my Fable remake?
You're not getting a Fable remake,
That's
but
what I want to know.
you're not getting it.
Where the fuck is it?
Seth,
I need to
do you
know.
really want a Fable remake? You want that? Are you sure you want that?
I just want the series to live on in some significant, meaningful way. Because Peter Molyneux fucked up 2 and 3 because he's an asshole. And then they made this Fable Connect. And Fable 1 is so good. and they
Wait,
fucked it
so wait,
all up.
Fable 2 and 3 are bad? I've never played them.
No, Fable as a series gets worse as it goes on. The first one is phenomenal. The second one is like okay, it's okay. The third one's not good. Then they made fucking the Connect Fable game, and it was
What happened to
the
Fable
death of Fable.
Legends?
That got canceled before he was even released.
Oh, I thought they didn't they.
That
I thought they put out a
no, that
Fable
shit
game
got
recently, didn't they? No.
no, that shit got canceled in the
Oh.
fucking womb. They released a beta and it wasn't received well, and they fucking axed it.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah. So, in a nutshell, Microsoft right now, we're a little worried about you, because this won't be good. I'm telling you, if they fucking drop, if they drop the ball with any of their exclusives this year, which again, where are the games? Where are they at? You,
I don't know, man.
yeah, and that dude, like it's like getting to be a problem, and like I like Phil. I think it was Phil Howard or Phil Spencer. I can't think of this fucking Phil
Phil
Spencer.
Spencer.
I like him, but like you're selling me bullshit right now. Like you're fucking me, Phil.
Yeah.
You're breaking my balls.
Quit fucking us, Phil.
Yeah, quit fucking us, Phil. So,
Right,
so yeah, we're about. I think we have like maybe 5 minutes left, if that. Unless you had anything else you were gonna add.
No, just annoyed. I'm annoyed, dude. I'm annoyed because I just recently found out that did you know there was actually deluxe editions of Trails of Cold Steel 3 and 4
No, what?
that match up with the 1 and 2 that we have?
No, no.
Yeah, and they're available through PlayAsia. Yeah, it sucks.
Who do we hold responsible for this?
I don't know.
Give me a name.
I don't know.
Give me a name.
It's got to be NIS, right?
Yeah.
Because they're the ones that took over at 3. It's a red flag.
That's
flag on the play. Because now I'm tempted to go get them, right? Because I'm like, well, I have the first 2.
Are you gonna make me do this on camera? Am I gonna go look on Play? You know what? Hang on. So I'm gonna go look on PlayAsia right now, and if I see this price, I'm gonna get real upset. So, because you can't do that. You can't do that. Because one of the fun things about getting Trails of Cold Steel games, like you always expected they were going to do something. Like you're going to get some little knickknack, some little fun thing, and to find out that they had the same special editions that the other ones did, you can't. No. Hang on. Legend of Heroes.
Here's the Switch version of it.
Legend of Heroes.
It was called the Extracurricular Edition.
Yeah, I see it right here.
Yep.
You motherfuckers.
I told you. Isn't that annoying?
You can't do this. So, oh my god. Yeah,
yep,
I
saw that, and I was like, "You sons of bitches."
Yeah, no, NIS, you get the fucking. I may fly to wherever they're at and hurt them badly. That's right up there with. This is the last story I'll tell on the show tonight. So, and you can empathize with this because this is one of those collector stories at the time where you're like, a store betrays you. So, and this is famously. Remember, I used to always bitch about the Lewisburg GameStop and then the Montoursville GameStop because this happened to me at 2 different stores. So, when I had a Wii U, I was excited for 2 RPGs. 2. I think you know which ones those are, but Tokyo Mirage Sessions, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Xenoblade Chronicles X. So I go, like a good boy. This is back when I used to pre-order things. And I go to the Lewisburg store. I'm like, hey, I'd like to pre-order a copy of Tokyo Mirage Sessions. And if there's a special edition, please sign me up for that. And they go, check our system, little tap, tap, tap. Nothing. Oh, okay. So I'll just get the standard. All right, cool. So I go to pick it up. And the guy behind me, he gets a special edition Tokyo Mirage Session. I'm like, whoa. Hold on. I was told that there was not one of these. And he's like, "Oh, yeah, no, they were up for pre-order. You know, I think a couple of days after the release date got announced." I'm like, "Well, I was here and I was told it wasn't, and pre-ordered a standard edition." So I'm like, and they apologize, but nothing they do. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna eat the L. I'm gonna eat the L. It is what
Yep.
it is. But then it happened to me with Xenoblade Chronicles X. I'm like, is there a special edition? No. So at least this time it didn't happen to me in the store. But so I get the regular standard edition, and then I get home and I haven't even opened the game yet, and I get on YouTube and see somebody opening a special edition Xenoblade Chronicles X. I'm like, mm-hmm, uh-huh.
Okay. I'll just go fuck myself.
Yeah, that's how I feel right now, and like, there's no bigger burn than when you fucking want a special edition or you're expecting one and can't get it. That's the worst fucking feeling in the world.
Yep, I agree. And now I think we both have these 2 special editions of Cold Steel 1 and 2, right?
Right.
And then now they're just sitting here, and
now I need 3 and 4. I have to get them now. I have to get it, and that's fucked up. For the record, I'm not happy about it. So
now before we make a huge mistake, are we sure that Hajimari does not have?
Yeah, I saw it. It has the Trails of the Reverie, or Trails in the I forget what it's called, the Trails of Reverie edition or something like that. On PlayAsia anyway. I don't know if like these fuckers are gonna give us. Well, hang on, let me check.
See what do we got going on here on Amazon?
Let me see if I have it pre-ordered. I don't know if I do.
I don't think Amazon has it up for pre-order.
No, they do. My orders.
They just have they have a deluxe edition.
Yeah, that's
I think it's just called the deluxe edition. It's got an art book. It looks like.
Yeah, that's what I have. Is the one with the art book. So we're watching you, NIS. I'm just gonna say, don't make a fuck out of me. All right, don't make a fuck out of me, NIS, because that's not nice. We've done nothing but sing your praises. You've yet to draw our ire, but this is definitely a concern.
Yeah, not like
cool. These companies, man. I'll tell you. So before I start screaming, is there anything in closing you want to put out there?
No. That was the last thing I just wanted to say. I just wanted to get you a little worked up before the end of the show.
Yeah, that hurt me. That hurt me deeply. So you collectors out there, always be mindful to check everywhere to see if there's a special edition if you want one.
Yeah.
So don't get caught with your pants down. So it's been a great show. It's been a fun show. It's been good rapping with you. I felt like we hadn't done a show in forever, but it only been like a week or two, if that. Yeah. So remember, guys, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Give us a like on Facebook if you could. Check us out on the gram. We're still on boycott from Twitter. We don't do Twitter as far as the alpha nerds are concerned. We're too alpha for Twitter. We don't do Twitter.
Too good for it. Yeah,
too good for it. So definitely, shoot us a like on again, Facebook. Follow us on subscribe to our YouTube channel. Give us a like there as well. Maybe drop us a comment, little feedback from the community, if you will. We want to hear from you. Unless you're Robert Sweetley, then you're dead to us. But so, and did we get the podcasting on Podbean and all that situation squared away, sir?
No, I forgot about it.
Yep. Okay. So
didn't want to lie to you. I completely forgot about that situation until you just said something.
Yeah. So we'll we'll have a Facebook post when that's announced and rectified. So until then, just keep bear with us. We appreciate everyone. Those of you who do view the content. Thank you for your time. And remember, boys, square up, throw down.
Throw down. Yep. Definitely.